Hello all and welcome once again to the Walrus Plays Stardew Valley. Now today I will be engaging in some intense foraging, as today it is now Salmonberry season, which means the bushes around town and on the farm will be giving you salmonberries, which are not the most valuable thing in the world, but I might be able to make some money out of them. My plan is to probably save them, as they're quite useful as a large stack to take into the mines. Again, they're not super valuable, but again, it's something I can do with them. But I could also try and turn them into jam, or preserves, or whatever it actually calls it in this game, because I always forget if it calls them jelly or jam, being an American game and all. Anyway, today also, all my tulips are now ready for harvest, which is good, so that's going to be a little bit of extra money, which would be nice. Not entirely sure why I chose to do tulips, but they're pretty, and admittedly they do have a slightly bigger benefit if I had beehives, but shockingly enough, I don't yet. Now, I'm going to sell all these tulips, and hopefully make enough that I can actually purchase the backpack, because that's going to be a major thing at the moment, because of course all the tulips themselves, each individual colour is a different item, and with 3 different quality levels that I can obtain at the moment, that's going to be really annoying, because that's going to fill up all the space super quick. Now of course I do have some quantity of plots of land that need to be dealt with, and then it'll give me quite a few open plots for the time being. Now, looking at this, my silo isn't yet ready, as Robyn is currently working on it away at the background, which is nice and helpful. Unfortunately, what other things do I need to do today? Not entirely sure what other things I can do on this day, other than visit the shop, see if I can get some other things, do some foraging. I think that's going to be the main focus of the day, is going to be trying to level up the foraging skill. I'm not actually sure if grabbing stuff of salmonberries actually counts towards your foraging skill. I mean, technically it is foraging, I guess, but it might not actually count, which is super useful. But either way, I'm going to go and grab myself a quantity of water here. I'm still really considering getting a well, because it's going to be a pain in the posterior. Having to run back and forth, and actually being able to move structures around as well, keeping things easy. I'm not entirely sure why I plonked the silo where I did. I might try and move it later on behind the house, because it's not in a particularly good place. But then again, the farm is still sort of just being figured out and roughly structured. Planting some rice that I found in the mines. Now I know that it does tend to grow faster near water, but I've still got plenty of time for it to grow and be ready for harvest. That's the main thing, is making sure I can actually get it and actually harvest it. Now, it's about 10 AM, so I know all the stores are open in town, but that's not the main focus of what I'm going to do. I am on a salmonberry hunt. It's not quite as exciting as a bear hunt, but then again, there's less of the being scared of bears, thankfully. Now, which way do I go? I always forget this farm. I really need to clear this out, but the trouble is I need some iron before I can clear out those large rocks. It's one of those things as well. It's I remember that, oh yeah, I need to clear out the farm. That'll be a good idea. I'll just clear some space, and then I end up wasting all my energy doing something else that's really stupid. But oh well. C'est la vie. It's just the way my brain works. It pretty much doesn't. I'm a scatterbrained fool at the best of times. You would not believe the amount of lists I have to have dotted around the house and workplaces for me to remember to do things. I would set a number of alarms on my phone so that it would go, oh yeah, by the way, you need to do the cleaning. And yeah, don't forget that, you moron. I think I need checklists and alarms constantly, otherwise I'm just going to be going, durr, what could I do today? Sweet nothing, I think. So, we've got some of the salmonberries. Now, I know that there is the later sort of, not really quest, but the interaction with the bear in the woods, which is a weird thing to say. Yeah, have an interaction with a bear in the woods, and he teaches you how to harvest more berries, which is kind of cool. and I'm obviously nowhere near able to do that. Partly because I can't actually access the lost bit of the woods or the hardwood yet. That won't be too long though. As soon as I get an iron axe, I'll be good for that. Now, of course, if memory serves, I've got the axe in ready for the upgrade. Because I think it needs to be copper. Have I already done that? I always forget what I'm doing. Again, I need to write things down. I'm just so scatterbrained. The trouble is I leave it about a week or two between each set of recordings, and because I've had a rough, stressful week in the last week after, as I mentioned in the previous video, my oldest guinea pig passed away, which was it was a big hit for me, because you know what it's like, especially if you've got pets, and when they live a reasonable amount of time, like 4 or 5 years minimum, they really begin to give you an attachment, and yeah, I miss that little man. He was my little boy, but it kind of knocked me for 6 because it was that, oh no, I've got to deal with that now. Well, anyway, now I'm going to be running around grabbing a lot of these other forageables. So some more horseradish, which is good. Might actually stop over at the community centre, because that'll probably be a good shout to give me a little bit of progress towards the bundles, which is something that I am going to need to do, because the sooner I can get the bundles done, the more stuff I unlock, and there are some that are a little bit more time sensitive. So if I can get all the spring forageables, not the spring forageables, because the other spring like vegetables done as well, because I do want to be able to have all of that. Last, my inventory's full. Oh, let's just go away. 5, I don't even need that. I want to be able to get as much done in a single year as physically possible. I know there are wrangling, clever ways of getting the ones that you can only do on year 2 done, but I'm not going to try and do that unless I accidentally sort of fall into it. I'm not going to deliberately try and do it. Let's get rid of the clay. Let's get some more spring onions. That's useful stuff. And again, I'd like to get as much done as possible. And it's just a shame that you can't set fire to Jojamart in the night. Ah, that's where Robyn's axe is. I always forget where that actually lurks. Now, what do I not want? Well, I'll get rid of the seeds for now. Kind of useful, but at the same time, I'll live. Now, I kind of need to return that to Robyn. Might as well pass by her house with that one. That might help. That'll be sensible. Okay. Haley's taking lots of photos of stuff. You know, to each their own. Take lots of photos. I guess if you were living in an area like Stardew Valley, there must be a lot of just beautiful scenery to take lovely photos of. So, I can see why you'd do that. It's one of those things that, like, I'm quite fortunate I live in a reasonably forested area, so I can sort of understand the being able to wander around in nature, which is quite nice. Admittedly, though, it's not a particularly large forested area. It's sort of like more of an area of there was no development, and thankfully I don't think there will be any development in there, because the amount of houses around and about, so much fun wandering around and going, loads of things in the way. Okay, now let's see what we can donate to the spring foraging bundle. No, not spring onions, you silly walrus. Horseradish, that's what we want. Okay, so we've got dandelions and daffodils to go, and that's an easy one to get, I think, and it feels reasonably appropriate looking for daffodils, as my garden is currently full of them and it looks very pretty. I think I mentioned before, I'm not a very good gardener. In real life, I have a black thumb. I kill plants super easy. It's painful how bad I am with them. But at the same time, I enjoy looking at them and just trying to keep the low maintenance. I think it's because I'm lazy and I'm forgetful. That's the problem. Now, where is Robyn? Okay, she's not in the kitchen. She's... Oh, no, Sebastian is, though. Do you know where your mother is? Okay. Maybe I mean, of course, you can't really ask Demetrius and go, "Where's your wife gone? She's disappeared. Have you seen her?" Because I haven't. Okay, let's go back to the farm. Let's see if we can find anything else of use down here. Some more salmonberries. I mean, we've got nearly 50 of them, so that's a good start. It's the sort of thing that I can keep a hold of if I desperately need some money. I could quickly flog them. They're not super valuable at the end of the day. I think that's the big problem with them, is that they're not the most valuable of things, but they could be used. That's where Robyn is. She's at work on my farm, and I cannot speak to her or throw an axe at her. That's quite frustrating. I'd like to be able to give her an axe and be like, "Can you take this from me?" But apparently not. Okay, well, let's just throw these in the selling bin. That's a little bit of extra cash monies. Hello, Toffee. I wonder if I could get a mod to replace the cat with a guinea pig. Just a free roaming guinea pig running at the farm. Oh man, if somebody made a mod of that, I'd be super excited. Anyway, so now let's have a quick look. Oh, no, my axe is here. Okay, maybe I hadn't upgraded the axe. Again, scatterbrained moron. That's where I put the fishing rod. Okay, right. So, I am going to go and do a little bit of fishing now, because I might be able to get some vaguely valuable things to sell. Might be quite useful. Also, I need to level up my fishing skill. It's one of those things, as I mentioned before, I really enjoy doing the fishing minigame. It's just a bit tedious early on when you don't have the capability of really having a large catching bar, and when you've got the terrible rod. So that's lots of not fun. It's not that difficult, really, in the grand scheme of things. But weirdly, I found it harder with a mouse and keyboard than I do with a controller. I think that's one of the reasons I actually play this with an Xbox controller. Because I can just tap the X button and it seems to work okay. I'm still not amazing at it. I mean, I tend to catch stuff, but, well, I'm sure you can see that it's not the easiest of things to do. I don't know why. I find it slightly easier. But, hey-ho. That's just individual experience on that one. Now, I know I need to catch a number of fish for the bundles, so I do need to check, and I might need to even write up or print out a checklist of the individual fish I need. I could probably have it on the second screen, actually, of these are the fish that you need, but at the same time, I'm scatterbrained, and if I haven't got a checklist, then I am just gonna forget. And I know that there is a way of looking up what you need in the bundles in the menus once you've identified them, but at the same time, I kind of need it in front of me so I don't actually forget to look at it in the menu. Again, good old scatterbrained me. But, hey-ho, that's the walrus there for you. I can pretty much focus on what's directly in front of me, and not anything much else. I'm a genius. And I'm keep catching trash. This is so useful. Not. I haven't got the ability to make the recycler yet, so I can't really do anything with it, which is a crying shame. As soon as I do get the recycler, that would actually be useful. But not so much right now. I think you make refined quartz from CDs, and I forget what you actually make from the trash itself. But all the same, it's actually vaguely useful stuff. Let's see what we can catch here. I mean, that fish definitely just wants to be caught. Go on. You one. There we go. Lovely stuff. Nice bream. Okay, I say a nice bream. It's still just a basic one. But again, that's something that I can just quickly throw in the shipping box and hopefully make a bit of extra cash monies. One of the odd things I've noticed is that I've never actually built multiple of the shipping boxes. And I'm thinking that because of the size of this farm, I might actually find it quite useful to actually do that. So I might have an animal enclosure area and then have a shipping box near that. But I'm thinking that considering the animal enclosure area needs to have a reasonable amount of large open space, that'll probably be better closer to the farm, like the farmhouse itself, and then have crops scattered throughout, because the large river running through the middle of it does sort of cut a big hole in what you can actually do. But, oh well. That's just the way it rolls. I do kind of need to plan the farm, but it's more of a trying to get to the sprinklers that I need, being able to make the sprinklers and that sort of thing is kind of the important thing for me, is being able to lazily water the plants, because I am losing a lot of energy just running around back and forthing with the watering can and just watering the plants. But that's just kind of a given, though. Excuse me, that was a lovely, long, random yawn in the middle there. I'm just going to have a quick drink, because a bit of coffee might help with that. There we go. Now, it's getting quite late in the game. It's 12:10, so I probably do need to head to bed in-game. Apparently, maybe even in real life. Let's see if I can catch this treasure chest as well. Yes, there we go. Wonder what we're going to get. Maybe something exciting, maybe not. We'll find out soon enough. Some coal and a geode. Actually, they're not terribly unhelpful. I don't think that the trash and the twig actually sell for anything in their unrefined form, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll just fling the fish in there, fling the algae, and we'll plop knock those in the mining chest, because that's where they belong. Indeed. Now, let's have a quick look and see. Okay, well that's the end of the day. So, we've unlocked the bee house, which is great. And we've unlocked another level of the fishing rod proficiency, so that's useful stuff. Now, day 15 of spring. Now today's 16. Ooh, exciting stuff. Numbers, they go up. Okay, right, TV, tell me what the weather is for tomorrow. And it is clear and sunny. Okay, that means I've actually got to do things. Well, ooh, what's the letter saying? Okay, Pierre's now selling fertilizer. That's vaguely useful, I guess. Aha! Now I've got all of the things that I need to complete the foraging bundle now available in my plot of land here. Now, of course, I don't need any of that. I don't know why I keep the sword. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, right, so I'm going to grab all of these, and that's all of that nice and easy done. Any cauliflowers? Yep, that's super easy. Wonderful stuff. Just water these things ever so slightly. Oh, okay. I can't water a complete. Oh, can I? Telling me my inventory is full. I understand that. And yes, so those are the strawberry bushes that are growing away there. They'll slowly get there, which is good. Now, what are we going to do here? Nope. Let's keep watering these things. See what we find. Okay, well at least the silo's now done, so that actually does mean that I could do a bit of harvesting of the grass. So I could probably pull out the scythe in a bit. Now, I do need to go to Pierre's. I've got the money for the backpack now, because I've got 2,000. And I could probably buy 1 or 2 seeds of each of the spring plants that I know I haven't done, because that probably would be quite useful. Then I'll be able to just do the community bundles quickly, and that's kind of the main thing there. Now, no, it's achievements, don't need to worry about that. Okay, so, what do I not need? Oh, well, right, let's just scythe this grass down, give me a bit more space. So I'm going to start gathering hay, as that will then mean I will be able to actually have animals, especially during the winter. That's the main thing there. And of course, it clears some darn space, which is great. I can actually see what I'm doing now. Wonderful. Nice and easy there. Now, what else am I going to need to do? Put that away for now. Let's quickly go get some more water in the can. Ah, and the pine tar is ready. Excellent. So again, that's actually semi-valuable stuff, so I can sell that. Again, I will be reorganizing where I put the trees and actually have them in the entire area of the farm. It's going to be on that raised little plinth bit down in the south, just because I want to have some semblance of organisation going on in this place, which I am aware is an unusual concept, especially considering how scatterbrained I am. Some more dandelions and daffodils. I probably could have just come here and grabbed them if I had known about it. Oh well. Right, so let us continue our trundle into town. I really need to start growing coffee. Just speed up, that's what I need. Constant bits of speed. Do not want to be so slow. Please, go, go. And, oh, we've got a cutscene. Okay. I wonder what's going to happen then. Welcome to Pierre's. And, oh, it's Morris. In his true creepy Jojo Mart style. And he's... Oh, it's the coupons bit. Oh, I'd forgotten about this. Yeah, okay. So he's just going to try and bribe customers to come and visit him and not visit Pierre's because, woo, conglomerate corporations, they're all evil. Big business. Poor Pierre. Oh well. Well, you're just so horrible, Morris. It's why I hate him. He's just so smug. He's got that sort of face you just want to hit in the face with a halibut. Just like stand there and just hold a big fish. Maybe a salmon. A big salmon, that'll be a good two-handed salmon swinging the chops. Okay, right. So we've now got 24 slot spaces. So that's actually going to make life a little bit easier. Now to the community centre. Now I can quickly donate the other bits of the spring foraging bundle. I forget what that actually gives you. I think it might give you actually some spring forage seeds. Which is a kind of weird thing to get from them, but at least it would allow me to grow some more for the sake of growing some more. Righty, let's quickly donate those. And so we need a dandelion, one of these, and we need a daffodil. And there we go, bundle complete, huzzah! Oh yes, of course, when I get all of them, that unlocks the bridge to the quarry, I think. Okay, right, so exotic, and there's the pine tar, so that's one of those. So that's, again, quite helpful. I know I should probably find one of the mushrooms in the mines when I go in there next. And we might very well be able to get some of the other bits, as long as I can start making more of the tapping things. As then I could start making potentially some more other governments. Spring crops. I really wish I hadn't sold that parsnip earlier now. I feel really stupid. Oh well. Not to the end of the world, but I'm sure if I quickly pop back to Pierre, I'll buy the appropriate seeds. I think I've still got enough time to grow all of them. And then I'll be fine. That's kind of the main thing. Oh no, wish I had your axe, Robyn. I could then have given it to you because you're there, but oh well. I've left it in a chest back at home. Not the end of the world. Okay, right, so I'm going to need some parsnips. I'm going to need some beans, cauliflower and potatoes. Nice and easy. I haven't got enough for any more cauliflower. Let's grab a potato. I do kind of want to get some of the other things. Also just realised I could totally have bought one of the parsnips back for 35. Oops. Oh well, I'll just grow some more because I'm sure I can make a bit more money out of it. And that's the main thing, is making money. I want to make all the cash monies. Now, kale's a strange one because I know I don't really use much of it outside of the some of the cooking recipes to make your give you stat boosts and all sorts of health and things. But it is quite a useful thing to have, I think. I wouldn't mind growing some of that. It's also one of my guinea pig's favourite foods, which is quite sweet. So that's why I might just grow a large swath of it, because, yes. Okay, so I've now got quite a lot of crops to plant. Now, thankfully, because I've cleared all that extra space, however, I should be able to plant all of these and actually pretty much get cracking. Now, parsnips, definitely need one of each of those. I'm probably going to stash some of these seeds away in my chest of seedy things, because these are being done just to get the community bundles done. However, these other ones, the foraging ones, I can just quickly slap them on the ground and it doesn't really matter too much. That's easy. And we'll just get watering of all of those quickly, just to give me some extra crops. It's one of those things, just constantly harvesting, constantly doing things, and an extra cauliflower, which I forgot to grab earlier, which should mean I might be able to go and donate that to the community bundle, which will make the cauliflower easier because I then don't need to wait. And I think I've only got 12 more days of the season, so theoretically it might not even grow in time. I think it is a 12-day growing period for cauliflower, so hopefully there's enough time for that. We will see though. So let's plonk these seeds away here, because I don't need them right away. But again, it'll be useful just to have them, because I might get them growing in the greenhouse or in like the pots that you can get later on, which they're great because I tend to put them on the indoor of the house because of course they're kind of designed for that, allowing you to grow stuff indoors and not actually have to worry too much about environment and such. So being able to grow stuff that constantly harvests, I think I might end up, like, as soon as I can get them, I'll plant like a few coffee beans in a plant pot in the house, and then I can just get the beans, make a cup of coffee, just straight away. That sort of level of, yep, we're doing it. Even though I'm sure that's not actually how they work. I think you need to roast them first or something. I'm not proficient with knowledge of how coffee is done. I just drink the stuff by the gallon. I'm a very, very bad English person. I don't actually like tea. I'm sure there are certain British YouTubers who would call me a heretic for that. However, it's one of those things that I try it every now and again. It's the sort of thing like I've come to the age where I go, okay, well, I don't like this, but if I try it again every few months, every couple of years, you know, just see it, give it a go, it just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't gel with the taste. But then again, I don't drink my hot drinks with sugar, and maybe because that might be where I'm going wrong. I need to drink tea with sugar, maybe. You know what? I might even try that later this afternoon. I'll just brew a cup of tea, because I've got tea bags, because you know I don't want to be a terrible host and not offer a cup of tea. However, as another potential slight against me, I don't have such famous brands as Yorkshire tea. I have Twinings, because I prefer the smell of it. I think that's the annoying thing, is I like the smell of tea, I just don't like the taste of it. I am such a butt. But, oh well. Okay, so Robyn isn't in this house. Where are you, Robyn? I need to give you an axe. Oh, Demetrius, have you seen your wife? You're not wrong, Demetrius. You and your scientific mind. I still find him quite an obnoxious character. Not in like an overtly rude, but completely socially inept. Unable to understand. I think maybe that's just his character. Well, he's just not my favoritist character. I think that's the thing, is that there are a number of characters in any game that you play and you just go, I don't really like you. Like the young guys in the village, never really bothered to get to know them because they're just a bit bland, I think. Like, at least with some of the other characters, they've actually got something a bit more about them. Maybe I haven't developed the friendships enough with them to really find out more about them. I think that might be a task for this particular playthrough. Because, I mean, I know Mario takes you on a lovely little go and view the night sky. You've got poor Shane. Actually, the story of Shane is so heart-wrenching because it sort of like showcases his alcoholism, and it really shows that he's trying but failing because he doesn't know what to do. And yeah, it's one of those horribly existential crisis type things. Oh, this is such a lovely game, it's so nice and lovely, and then suddenly, oh, I'm just gonna kick you in the teeth. Here you go, have some horrible crises of, oh, I don't feel very good about this one now. But okay, maybe I'm being a bit presumptuous of some of the characters. Maybe the other young guys in the town, I think I need to try and develop the friendships with them quite quickly, see what I can learn from them, because maybe I'm forgetting. But I think Shane sort of stands out more than the others because of how rough around the edges he comes across and how much of an arse he is initially. But when you realise why he's like that, it's kind of heart-wrenching. And it's quite sweet when he starts giving you the option of like the blue chickens, and I like the fact that his little portrait changes to him with a little chicken under his arm, and it's just like, oh, that's quite cute. And it's quite sweet actually. Now, I didn't realise how affectionate chickens can actually be. I've never kept birds of any type, and a friend of mine, she keeps parakeets and budgerigars, and I was amazed at how loving and affectionate, and actually they wanted to be held, they wanted to cuddle. And it's like, oh, I hadn't ever anticipated that a bird would genuinely want you to give it a fuss. And again, I was also quite shocked. Like, I've held feathers, I've stroked them. I mean, I've got a peacock feather, like, from when I was a kid, just on the wall. But at the same time, I've never really bothered to stroke a living bird. So I didn't actually realise how soft they are. So, pleasant memories of going, oh, that's a bit strange, but hey ho, it's one of those things, and I genuinely had been quite surprised. I think maybe because I've only been exposed to mammals as pets, and actually no, reptiles. My father and mother did actually have a tortoise when I was a little kid. Don't really know much about what happened with that tortoise because I think I was about 2 or 3 when he died or went. But I remember my dad painting the house number we had on the back of its shell, so because it was an escape artist, it would just somehow, being such a slow animal, you'd get a phone call going, oh, by the way, Mr. Walrus's dad, your tortoise is in the garden. Should we capture it, put it in a box? Like, oh yeah, it's fine, it's just a tortoise. And there we go, I've managed to bite off more than I can chew there. I screwed that one up royally, good grief. Wow, I got greedy and wanted both the chest and the fish, and then screwed it all up. Damn. Oh well, that's what I get. Greed, it will be the end of us all. And especially when you try and fish things. But not to worry. Now, of course, I'm doing a lot of fishing at the moment just because that will help me level up the fishing skill, which is quite useful. And second of all, it's going to help me get some money. Because at the moment, with a whole 31G, that ain't not very much. And I will desperately need some more cash money very quickly. However, we will endeavour to sell as much as possible. Again, I'm going to stash the 8 salmonberries I've got in the in my chest of berries and goodies, to try and turn that into jams and preserves, just because it'll increase its value. I know it's not a massive multiplier, but at the same time it's an easy one to do because it's one that I just happen to have lying around, and I know some people will be very much like, yes, but the time input and blah blah blah, but at the same time it's just salmonberry jam. Yeah. I mean, I probably should ship out like 5 or so of them, I think, to get the bundled complete thing of shipping out everything. Maybe. I think that's probably a good idea. I could be wrong. I think there is something for shipping out 5 or so of each produce. Can't remember. Anyway, right. So let's see if we can catch something with this one. What are we going to get? I do like the southern part of the town, like along here with the little pier. It's quite a nice little look, and it's quite pleasant that, like, the fact that you now have the the extra islands that you can visit. Of course, haven't got that as a capability as yet. But it's quite nice that you can actually explore a lot more, and I do really like it when you've got the aquatic market that turns up in the winter season, because it just looks really cool. So I think, weirdly, this is probably one of my favourite parts of the town. Okay, so I'm getting pretty low on energy. I probably should head back to the house and retire. Now, I've got a lot of stuff that I can sell, and a lot more stuff that I've grabbed from the ground. I've got the coral and things, which again, I know I could use for, what's it called? Fertilizer. But at the same time, oh, another cutscene. Oh, it's the Linus one. Ah, poor Linus, rummaging around for food. Which, considering I've already rummaged around in the bins and found baguettes and such and eaten those, I can't really say much at this point. Okay, George the grumpy old fart. Again, he's a character who comes across a horrible old man, but actually he's not that bad when you get to know him. But I guess if you're a grumpy old man in a wheelchair, I can kind of see it. Okay, Linus. What's your excuse? I do feel bad for him, but at the same time, I want to tell him that, mate, what are you doing? That's disgusting. But at the same time, I also don't want to be a horrible person to him. Because, yeah, it is a shame for food to go to waste. But at the same time, I do want to tell him, be like, come on, man. Shouldn't be digging around in the trash. It's pretty grim. But, oh well. I enjoy the fact that he's like, okay, I won't rummage in George's trash anymore. But, hear me out, I never said anything about the Stardrop Saloon. Yeah, I'm going to rummage. Oh no, been caught again. And at least like the village is full of actually nice people like Gus who actually want to look after him and help him out. Which I think is quite pleasant that there are people in this little village that actually want to help. Which I think is something that I didn't grow up in a very small village, but I grew up in a reasonably small town, and it wasn't quite everyone knew everyone, but it was a lot of I knew more of the people who lived in the town, and it was quite nice to see who I could rely on for help if something, or ask for information, or people who knew stuff that actually could help me out. And it was interesting knowing that I was also that person you could ask about other things, and it was people, some of the older folk would ask around, because I was quite happy to do little bits of shopping for some of the older folk. Like I did that for my neighbour whilst she was still with us, when I still lived with my parents when I was 15 or 16. I'd occasionally go to the shops and just pick up stuff for her because, well, she couldn't get out of the house very easily. Do the nice thing. And I think that's something that I've noticed as I've got older. I found it quite difficult to sort of see. I get on quite well with one of my neighbours. It's quite nice. We share a lot of interests. But at the same time, I don't really know many other people who live near me. I know the guy over the road. He's very useful. Lots of power tools, very helpful. But I wonder if that is a thing, that the more densely populated an area, the less camaraderie there is. But at the same time, you could also just sort of on the inverse, that maybe that develops more camaraderie in some other ways. Bit of a tangent there, I will admit. Good old Walrus going off on one. But anyway, right, so that does look like that's pretty much the end of the day. Now I'm going to be stashing all the gubbins away, just put things left and right. Now, that is going to be near enough the end of this particular video, and we will be coming back on Wednesday, for Wednesday, more to the point, so we can actually continue tracking on, and hopefully I can actually give Robyn her darn axe back, because that would be nice. So I've actually made quite a chock out of that day, so that's quite nice. I've got about nearly 3,000. I can live with that, and that will allow me to hopefully purchase some more gubbins and get cracking. So once again, thank you for catching with this stream video with Walrus, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.